Cappuccinos and Roman Churik 3-2-0 lifetime against the Leafs. Curtis Joseph 9-5-2 against the St. Louis Blues, his former team. 1.65 his goals against average, and he's had 4 shutouts, including the 0-0 tie. Dan Marawelli enjoying his 1,000th game ceremony prior to the start of tonight's encounter. He's an Edmonton native. And Kevin McGuire from Toronto, 37 years of age, and there is the ceremony before the game.
And I don't think it's any different than a player playing his 1,000th game, only this guy doesn't ever get cheered. And if you've played 1,000 games in this league as a player, somebody cheered for you down the line somewhere.
You would think. Greg Dvorsky and Steve Miller will work the lines as it is brought to center ice, and Young shoots it into the lead zone. Yuskevich playing it around back of the net. Young tracked it down. Sundin plays it up on the wall. Hoagland can't get to it. Young played it right back in again. Back of the net from the side of the goal, trying to get to it now is McCabe, and Sundin battling with Dallas Drake. Down into the heat goes Bryce Salvador, or at least Turgeon on the board. Hoagland can't get it by his man. Good forechecking here. A shot on goal to stop by Curtis Joseph. Has a good try there by Dallas Drake. Leafs get it out at center now with Thomas. On to Hoagland. Going wide on the defensive. Pronger rolls it to the side of the goal. Sundin curls it back to the point and drive. And that was stopped by a sprawling Dallas Drake off the stick of Thomas Kaberle. Pronger coming out of his own end to center. And he'll shoot it deep into the Toronto end. Between Pronger and McInnes, it's not very many seconds in a game where one of them isn't on the ice. Round the far side for Corson. Knocked to center ice by Thomas. And McInnes goes back into his own zone. Roberts trying to run some interference or forecheck there, but was interfered with. Now it gets back up in his skates, but couldn't control the puck. Salvador into the corner as Corson took a run at him. And it is cleared out at center ice. Kaberle off the board. Roberts let it go to Corson. He can't shoot it in. Another former Blue gets it to Roberts. Here's Tucker going to the front of the net. Put to the ice there by Jochen Heck. And there'll be a penalty here with some good drive to the net by Tucker, forcing the Blues player to haul him down.
And a nice pass to give it to Tucker, who had a chance to take it off the skates, but he was hooked by Heck. And, you know, some penalties are good, some are bad. This might have been a worthwhile 2 minutes because he hauled Tucker down, but he would have been in alone on Turek had the Jochen Heck not hooked him. So the Leafs will go on the power play. They have scored 3 times in the last 14 opportunities in this situation. And this St. Louis Blues penalty killing. 5 goals given up in the last 22 penalties. Not very good.
Watch this as Hoagland slipped on a piece of paper right there. There was a Bon Jovi concert in here the other night, and some reflector squares, almost like confetti, were released from the rafters, and it wasn't apparently supposed to be done, but it is up in the rafters, and many occasions we've seen them kind of floating down and falling onto the ice surface, so this is something we better keep an eye on. Here's Manson bringing it out. Heck for hooking. And the Leafs on the power play for the first time. The last 5 games, 3 of 19. Manson cross ice for Markov. Markov into the corner for Korolev to Manson. Shot coming, but it's blocked. And it is shot out and down the ice, or at least to center ice by the Blues. Markov. Rink wide for Igor Korolev. Now to Berezin. In with a shot right on. Big rebound. Another try. Turek made the save as Berezin, and then Markov had a great chance. Shot to the blue line. Blocked. Markov trying to keep it in. Plays it to the side of the net. Turek gets it off the board, but it is rocked the center ice now by McInnes. And Conroy scampers to the bench. 50 seconds left in the power play. Sundin. Stick handling through center. Got in over the line. Lost the puck. Shot out at center ice by the Blues penalty killers. And it is Svoboda back into the lineup. Getting it on to Kaberle. Now ahead for Hoagland. Splitting the defense. And a goal! Rebound! Shoveled out of the goal by Sundin. Great save by Churik off Hoagland. But Sundin couldn't find the rebound as Kaberle made a great pass up the middle. Here's Hoagland shoveling it in the backhand. Blocked. Thomas keeps it alive. Thomas to Kaberle. it went wide. Centered again. Back to the blue line. Cavalry drive. And he hammered it wide of the goal. Penalty is over. Into the corner. Sundin trying to knock it in front of the net. Thomas couldn't get to it. And it is played to center ice as Svoboda backed off the blue line. Cavalry. Some great chances on the power play as Pronger stood up. Cavalry with a good hit. Here's the ball. In front for Thomas. Rolls it on goal. Still loose in front, but it's blown dead by the referee, Dan Maruelli. There's that cheering you were talking about. Some of the fans thought it was a quick whistle, but it was blown dead as Churik has been outstanding here in the early going.
Well, the leading scorer among defensemen for Leafs, Thomas Kaberle, makes a great pass to put Hoagland in alone as he walks between the two St. Louis defensemen. He gets this chance. Sundin gets a rolling puck and can't control it as he heads to the net. And that's the kind of luck he's having these days, and going to the net, causing some traffic. Turek makes this save, and then Markov comes in late to look for the second rebound and can't find it. The Leafs starting here with some good speed and some excellent chances.
A good start for that unit, but still no score here in the first period as we have played 4 minutes and change. Antropov intercepts to Domi. Shot! Oh, he grazed the post on the far side. Nice setup from Nick Antropov, who looked a little bit, well, admittedly out of sorts in his first game back, and you could hardly blame him. He had a long layoff.
Just to give him 6 or 8 or 10 games, Joe, it's unfair to think you're going to see anything better before that.
Here he comes through center. Long reach as he plays it into the slot, intercepted and fired off the glass to center ice. Ball on the boards with Domi. Domi takes it back into his own zone. Now Svoboda plays it up the boards. Ball and a handful of sweater grab there by Lowe. Now they slash along the wall trying to get it freed up. And it comes back to the blue line where Hill regroups the puck now with Pronger. This corner long bouncing shot. Boy, that took a couple of hops on its way to Curtis Joseph. McCabe gets it ahead and Corson tips to center ice. Tucker ran into his man but couldn't control the puck, and it's right back into the Leaf end. Bergeron up forechecking on McCabe. Markov with the outlet pass for Corson on to Tucker. With Roberts. Crisscrossing and nailed by McInnes with a good hit. Brown on the boards to the far side for Turgeon. Tipped for Dallas Drake. Drake to center ice with a pass behind Young. He had to hold up at the blue line to keep the play onside. Dave Manson backs off the end boards, and here is Roberts coming out of his own end against Turgeon. Flips it high to the line. And it is McInnes now having it go off the stick, and then the tennis racket approach there of Turek didn't work real well. Tucker against the boards, trying to get it freed up for Roberts. Now stolen by Drake, and he'll ice the puck. 13 minutes and 50 seconds remaining to be played here in the first period. There is no score. The Leafs and Blues.
Here we are on
Center to win 100 games. Curtis Joseph, Mike Liut, or Grant Fuhrer. Stay tuned to this program for the correct answer and play.
The St. Louis Blues defensemen like to stand up at their own blue line because the forwards come back and give them a hand. And here's a good example of Al MacInnis knocking Darcy Tucker down because he had help from his wingers and could stand up and make the blue line a tough piece of territory to cross.
So it is a scoreless tie. Markov pumping it around the boards to the near side. Blues back to try and flip it out, and they do. Manson has to chase it down in the center ice area. Being chased there by Michael Handzus. Now on the wing, it is cleared into the St. Louis end. Bearson got it freed up. Manson shot to the side of the net. Rolled to the side of the goal by Perreault. Now back to the net. Nice play there. Centered in front of the net. A try there by Bearson to stop. Manson keeps it in. Over on the far wing, and a shot by Korolev. Had to go off a leg. Korolev made a great play behind the net, playing it to himself off the back of the goal and almost set up Bearson for a gimme. Bearson across the line. He'll shoot it off a leg. Korolev into the corner with Pronger. In goes Perreault to try and help out. Our corner now for Bearson. Good grab of the sweater there as water skiing behind him was Michael Handzus. Long shoot in goes wide of the Leaf goal. That wasn't too obvious. It almost ripped the sweater in half. Back down into the St. Louis zone, an icing charge here against Toronto.
Well, both teams have a challenge if they want to win this game. Curtis Joseph, like he has against Edmonton and his old team, St. Louis, he's been a real problem. And the St. Louis Blues are #1 in the league with their goals against average, and they have to continue to play that way if they're going to continue to be #1 in the Western Conference. Toronto, they need some goals from the Sundin line. This is a recording, and you have to get some people in front of Turek. He's playing great hockey. He's a big guy. He takes up a lot of room, and if he can see the shots, you're going to have trouble beating him.
Back into the Toronto zone, around the boards it comes. Stop there. Eastwood got a shot on towards the net. It was blocked. Caberlet loses it. Eastwood centers, and it's grabbed off by Matt Sundin. Pushed on to Hoagland. Long link-wide pass was behind Thomas, and the Blues have it again. Eastwood to the line and in. Eastwood going wide on Svoboda. Puts the brakes on. Slid it around back of the net. Too far for Jamal Mayers. Kept in by Conger. Back of the net is Eastwood again. Mayers sitting in front of the net looking for a pass. Now trying to get it loose in front of the net was Bartetsko, but it was intercepted, and the Leafs get it out at center. Here's Bartetsko with it again. Putting it down into the Toronto end. Running back up ice is Svoboda. Svoboda one-handed it for Hoagland. It was in his skates. And Antropov got his head up in time to see a truck arriving, and Alexander Kavanagh, and now it is back into the Blues end, and here's Conroy trying to come up. That pass hit Domi. Antropov applying some forechecking pressure as Jurek sends it around the glass. Domi cut it off. Antropov back into the corner. Couldn't make a play. Back to the point. It comes to McCabe. Shot coming in traffic. Here's Volk, the backhand. Scores! Gary Volk was stopped at the first backhand, but stayed with it. And his mom and dad in attendance enjoying that one as Gary Volk makes it 1-0.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs have stormed St. Louis. 8-2, they've outshot him, and Volk on the second opportunity shovels it by Turek to make it 1-0 Leafs. Again, St. Louis a little sloppy in their own zone. A point shot that hits the net or hits the player on the way to net. There's the first chance, and then Volk, after the backhand didn't work, the forehand did. And Gary Volk puts the Toronto Maple Leafs ahead. Ty Domi will probably get an assist for blocking that shot from the point. Volk hops on the rebound and puts it in. And Mr. and Mrs. Volk are the happiest couple in this building.
Hannah and Philip Volk enjoying the third goal of the season for their son, Gary. And it is 1-0 Toronto at the 8:38 mark. And Nick Antropov is going to get an assist on that goal, I would think. Right ahead for Tucker. Now Corson wraps it in deep. Tucker, or at least Corson into the corner. Tucker supports the puck. Can't get to it cleanly against Salvador. Now Roberts after it as it comes free to Young. Young getting it out at center ice. A rink-wide pass bringing Turgeon. Sharp angle shot stopped by Curtis Joseph and cleared to center ice. Antropov gets the lone assist, and the Maple Leafs lead 1-0. Handzus crossed the line, lost it. Played ahead now, and here's Sundin to the line. Sundin trying to chip it in for Thomas. Out of the goal is Turek to play it around the wall, cut off by Hoagland. He ran into a pretty good elbow on the way through. Now Sundin after the puck in front for Hoagland. And he took a quick shot, but fanned on it as it comes to center ice on Nancy. That's a fake pass. That was a great fake pass. He almost caused the passer to have a heart attack, but that was besides the point. Rolls in on Turek. He's going to cover it and hold for a face-off. Molson Canadian proud to bring you Leaf Hockey on TSN. It's a Canadian game.
A little
And Turek, the 0-0 tie that was played in St. Louis was Curtis Joseph's third of his career. Turek's first as the shot has stopped the rebound in front and was knocked wide of the goal.
Well, the Leafs score first. They've won 11 of their 12 wins this year, so it's a good omen if you're a Leafs fan.
You know that Terry Sawchuk had only 9 scoreless ties of the 104 shutouts he had?
He was a lousy goal-scoring goalie.
Yeah, I guess he was. Roy Wergers of Pittsburgh and the New York Americans had 19 in his career. Thank goodness we don't see that many. There were 15 in the 1927-28 season alone.
Well, Gary Volk, who scores the first goal of this game and the third of the season for him. And we've got a little snow cut into the rink. There, you see that little piece of paper? Bon Jovi, the singing group, left it on the rafters.
Yeah,
Here's a piece on the boards.
It's a reflective kind of a thing, like confetti that I guess they use as part of the light show, but it's going to be a real problem here because most of it is up on the rafters here. They're going to have to get that stuff off.
I'll tell you one
Isolating
thing.
the paper coming down.
This would be a tough stop for the goalie to handle this one. It's a bit of a knuckleball.
Yes, it is. Hill works around back of the net, and the Blues will try to organize halfway through this first period. Thomas knocked it away. Sundin into the corner against Hill. Left it for Thomas. Back around behind the goal it went as Sundin was knocked down. And it is cleared out at center ice, and Hoagland has to scamper backwards. Svoboda trying to give him a little bit of a screen, and here's Caberlet with it around back of the net. Svoboda takes the reverse, plays it on the glass. Conger knocked it down, took a shot towards the net, stopped by Caberlet, and it is Hoagland now on to Sundin with Thomas. Sundin's across the line. Conger goes right to him. Thomas, a tip pass in for Caberlet that didn't work. Now it is cleared out at center, and a 2-on-1 against the rookie. Here is Young in over the line with Dallas break going to the net. Couldn't go wide. Good play by Svoboda. He took away the pass across, and the rookie makes a pretty good play under an emergency situation.
Absolutely. His defense partner got trapped, and that has become a bit of a 2-on-1 strategy if you're the defenseman. Take the pass away so the goalie only has to worry about the shot, and Dallas Drake wanted to pass the puck, couldn't pass the puck, and ended up in the corner with the puck. 2 weeks ago, young Svoboda, who looks like he's going to be a player in this league, got hurt on this play right here and missed the better part of 2 weeks. And because Corey Cross's hip acted up again, there's another look at that injury. And here's the play. Drake wants to make the pass to Young. And what a play by Svoboda to not allow it.
Domi trying to center, went off a skate. Grabbed there by Johan Hecht. He loses it. Here's Antropov back in with the big reach. And he centered it, but unable to reach it was Ty Domi. Far side now for Michael Handzus. He gets it out at center, and it's shot in by Hecht wide of the net. Back of the goal goes Pavel Demitra. Demitra after the puck in the corner. Hecht trying to help out. Now Handzus lost it. Flipped high to center ice by Domi. And back into the St. Louis zone it goes. Interesting line matchup here by Pat Quinn. Now here is Demitra in on the wing. Rich shot went wide of the net. Domi on the far boards, chips it out, and it'll bound to center ice, and changes coming here for both teams. Al MacInnis, the veteran, comes to center. He snaps it in wild around the backboards. It bounces high in the air and comes to the near corner. Conroy trying to get to it, played it into the area back of the goal. Tyson Nash with a hit there on Perreault. Now Perreault intercepts and plays it ahead, and Berezin is out. Korolev takes his pass. Chips it in for Bears into the left wing corner. Double teamed in there, trying to get to it and help out his Korolev, but he could not. And Kavanagh gets it ahead at center now for Eastwood. Mike Eastwood down the left wing. Chased off the puck by David Manson. Played around on the board. Sean Hill pinches. Blocked. Bouncing puck still in the lead zone. Manson spun around but couldn't control the puck. Cleared in there by Bartechko. Now it's centered in front. Rolling puck wide of the net. It's sent into the corner for Eastwood. Eastwood trying to get to it. Korolev had lost his stick. He was able to regain it. Puck still down in the Toronto corner. Poked off Eastwood's stick. And now Joseph drops his stick. Now Markov will take it from his goaltender and start out. Bears into center. Leafs in need of a change, and Bears buys it by pouring it deep into the St. Louis zone. 6:26 to go first period, 1-0 Toronto. The Blues have given up a goal. They don't often give up two.
You sure don't. 14 of the 22 games, 2 goals or less.
Here's Tucker shooting, and just off the pad of Turek wide. Kept in there by Svoboda, around on the boards it comes. In goes Roberts with an offensive hit, but couldn't make a play. Then Svoboda got lucky there as it hit him in the skate. Otherwise, the Blues were away on a 2-on-1. Caberlet ahead for Tucker. On to Corson. Slides down the board. Knocked down by MacInnis. No players to the ice. And Turgeon has it on the left wing with a nice little touch pass off the boards to Dallas Drake. Long shoot in. Another bouncer that Joseph had to watch carefully. And it is brought by Thomas Caberlet to center. Going into the St. Louis zone. Church leaves it there for Jeff Finley. Finley gets it ahead at center, and Dimitra's away in over the line for Bartechko. Hans is trying to get to it, and now it's gloved by Curtis Joseph and held for a face-off. 5:19 left. Gary Volk has the only goal. Here's James Duffy and Gino Reda at the hockey game tonight. They'll be coming along with TSN Sports Desk later on after the game. Coming up next here on TSN.
Bullet head 1 and bullet head 2, I'd say.
Yeah. A lot of maintenance required to look like that, you know.
Most of it before you paint yourself.
Thomas unable to get the puck in deep. Johan Heck getting it out at center ice. Played back at center. Sundin after a loose puck with Hoagland trailing. Sundin going wide. Had it hooked off his stick. Cleared by Pronger on the boards. Kept alive by McCabe. Back into the far corner for Thomas. Thomas plays it on to Sundin. In for Hoagland. Couldn't get a shot away. Hoagland is knocked down. Thomas to the loose puck. Sent it to the side of the goal, and that was stopped by Roman Turek. Blues corral it. Lengthwise pass for Dimitra didn't work, and Pronger steps up at center. Slowing the game down. Pronger just now puts it deep into the Toronto end, and Joseph gets it up on the wall, and Gary Volk, who has the goal, works the boards to get it into the St. Louis zone. Antropov upended and knocked down. Here come 3 St. Louis players to center. In over the line, the drop pass to Nash, a shot, and that is stopped by Curtis Joseph. Kavanagh made a nice play to take it in, and Tyson Nash got it away in a hurry.
One of the things St. Louis does well, the transition game, we just saw it.
Tonight's first period is brought to you by Dodge. Different.
Curtis Joseph, of course, with the St. Louis Blues to start his NHL career, 137 wins, and he's had 82 wearing the blue and white of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And against his teams have traded him, 24 wins, 7 losses, and 4 ties. So, Mr. Quinn, don't you be thinking about trading if you have to play against him after.
No, that's right. Boy, he has just owned his former employers, hasn't he? 1-0 Toronto. Manson has to wait for Domi to get out of the zone. And did he wait long enough? Yes, he did. Sean Hill taking it around back of the net with Volk chasing. Played around the boards then for Kavanagh. He is checked. Volk trying to get it away from Eastwood. Domi lends some support with Antropov hovering out into the slot. Back of the net it goes. Volk tied up with Hill. Now working around back of the net is Lubos Bartechko, and it is cleared to center ice. Pass tipped back in by Antropov. He'll apply some forechecking pressure as the Leafs are changing on the go. Berezin couldn't knock down that high pass. And Cavalry now plays it back for Berezin. He steps around Turgeon, but couldn't get around Sean Hill. Hill arrived as a free agent from Carolina. The team really was decimated by free agent leavings as a shot is blocked by Curtis Joseph. Boy had to get the hand up there in a hurry to make that save, and he did.
Al MacInnis was the shooter. Al MacInnis in 57 career games against the Leafs has 21 goals and 60 points. And he nearly made it 22 goals here as he catches the Leaf defense backing in with no room. And Joseph, who's out at the top of the blue ice, makes a nice catch with his left hand to take what looked like a goal away from his old teammate Al MacInnis.
Harry, I've got to ask you, there's all this talk about Eric Lindros coming. You were a general manager. As we look at Berezin favoring his leg a little bit, would you make the deal?
Well, I'd certainly investigate it, and my advice, if it's worth anything, would be get it done in a week or bow out of the Derby, because it is a terrible distraction. But he'd look pretty good in a Leaf uniform. You're taking a chance, but if you don't take a chance, you're not going to have a chance to win the Stanley Cup. And the Leafs' chances in the next 2 or 3 years with Curtis Joseph and Pat Quinn and Matt Sundin and some of the younger players are getting better every week. However, you'll have to move somebody that you don't want to move to get it.
Right. Around the boards it goes. Corson after the puck to the far side. Svoboda tries to play it up the boards. Shot goes off an ankle, and MacInnis will have to pedal back into his own zone to regroup the puck. Gets it handed back to him. I agree with you. I think it is certainly worth the gamble if you can get the deal done for something that is reasonable and
Well,
Bob Clark will be reasonable with a team from the Eastern Conference, is hard to say.
it is a very complicated deal. He's a free agent. You got to sign him. Philadelphia's not just trading a normal player, and they'd probably like him out of the Eastern Conference.
Tucker is upset there as he tried to roar in there. Now McInnes and Corson are at it on the far side, and here come the Bruise brothers again.
I can hear them barking. A barking dog line is in action again.
Well, they had the Hounds here when they all played at Notre Dame, but this is a little different, isn't it? This is like pit bulls. As Corson went after Al McInnes, and now who is in there? Salvador is in as well.
It all started when Darcy Tucker flew into the goal post as he's coming in to get involved in the forecheck. I don't know whether he slipped on his own or was he knocked in
Nudged in
on that play by Salvador.
Yep.
And then Corson runs over and gets involved with McInnes, and they trade facial rubdowns. And we have everybody over there, and we'll have to see what the penalty situation is. Salvador was in there sitting, and they've excused him for whatever the reason. He's not got the penalty, or he's got longer than 2 minutes.
And McInnes is in the box with Corson. Probable roughing minors here to McInnes and Corson.
What did Salvador get? He's gone to the dressing room, unless he's injured.
Mistaken identity, possibly. As Dan Maruelli is over explaining it to the coach, and Tucker is, as you mentioned in the opening, he leads the league in discussions.
Boy, he's an orator as well as a center, I'll tell you that. And he is starting to climb toward the 20-goal mark, which he achieved twice last year with Tampa and Toronto, and the year before all with Tampa. So 6 goals in 23 games. If he can keep that pace up, he'll score over 20 again.
So things have been sorted out. Salvador's back on the bench, so I guess it was a case of mistaken identity.
He went to the penalty.
He was guilty as charged, and then there was no charge. I think he felt that there was going to be an interference penalty on him hitting Tucker, and just went over there on his own. So 4-on-4 hockey here for a couple of minutes. Pavel Demitra trying to work his way through center. He was felled by a Brian Holzinger hit late in the season with Tampa last year. Did not play a single postseason game, and it may have been a big factor in the loss to San Jose. Hecht with a shot that's blocked by Yuskevich. He leads the league in that department. Hecht into the corner with Yuskevich chasing. Puck into the slot, rolls out into the neutral zone, and Sundin isn't going to get there ahead of Demitra, who plays it back. Now McCabe presses the issue to Thomas. Pass off of glove, comes back at center ice. And McCabe exchanging the puck, dropping it back for Yuskevich. Bank pass for Thomas. Challenge there. It comes to an open wing. The Leafs are changing, as are the Blues, as Chris Pronger now takes it back into his own zone before heading to the bench. 53 seconds left in this 4-on-4 situation. Bergeron gets the pass in over the line, trying to get away from Berezin, dropped it back, turning with it is John Hill with a shot by Joseph to save, and he just did tip that out of the way before Turgeon got his stick on it. Hill plays it back, broken up there at the blue line by Dave Manson. Here's Hill with it again. On the left wing, Danny Markov takes it away from him. Gave the puck away to Young. Young works wide on the defense, looking for Turgeon front. Nope, still has it. Plays it back to the point. Swept in wide of the goal then by Kavanagh. Back of the net. Turgeon centers, and Young couldn't get his shot away. The Leafs corral it, and Manson is out at center with a pass for Igor Korolev. Korolev to the line, but couldn't make a play. Ponder roughs up Berezin. Back in for Young, and a split save and a good one made by Curtis Joseph. Penalties are over. Corson's back on. Markov. 7 seconds remaining to be played. Head for Corson, who gets it in over the line. Finley turns, tries to come out with it to center, and there's the horn that ends Gary Volk scores on his own rebound. His third of the season from McCabe and Antropov. And the Leafs outshoot the Blues by a pair.
Well, here, Chris Pronger, who was last year's best defenseman in the National Hockey League and voted the most valuable player. And he gave a little demonstration in the 9 minutes and 21 seconds that he played, that he hasn't lost his little streak of meanness. And his long reach came in handy 2 or 3 different times. Here's how he is a tough guy to get around. And the silverware the NHL supplies every year was hogged completely last year by the St. Louis Blues, at least the individual awards were. And Pronger was a terrific.
Now that you're coaching our Olympic team, do you think Pronger's got a spot on it?
I don't think I want to be the guy that tells him he hasn't.
I think that's accurate. Pat's a big man, but I'm not sure he'd want to do that either, and I don't think he will.
No, I'm pretty sure you'll see him in Canada's colors next February, in year February.
Round on the board, Hoagland trying to get to it. Pronger knights it in behind the net. Centering pass, here's a chance on the short side. And that was stopped on a great save by Curtis Joseph. As going hard to the net was Bartetsko. Now Yuskiewicz's pass is blocked. It's knocked down into the corner. Jammed in there along the wall, centered in front, and it is grabbed off now, and out comes Demitra. Pavel Demitra to the blue line. Trying to go wide as Lubos Bartetsko. He centers! And that was just out of the reach of the stick of Demitra. This line has played well since being united last year by Coach Q, as he is affectionately known in the Missouri State. Pass off a skate, gobbled up here by the Blues. Turgeon trying to sweep it to the net, was blocked by Caberlet. Blues starting off with some good forechecking, though. Here's Turgeon with it again, being challenged by Caberlet. Caberlet takes it into the corner. Turgeon trying to protect the puck for Young, and he gives it away. Out comes Gary Roberts to center. Roberts flipping the puck in over top the outreach. Here's Corson trying to go wide back of the net center. And that was not the rebound in front. Caberlet on his backhand couldn't deliver the payload. Back of the net for Tucker, who centers. On to Roberts' stick. He is bowled over from behind by Turgeon. And now here is Dallas Drake, the Trail BC native, coming to center. Dropping it off for Young. He's got a great shot. That one was partially blocked. And now Tucker will play the puck out at center ice. It bounces over Bryce Salvador's stick down into the St. Louis zone. Hill quickly plays it on to his defense partner. Salvador's pass off a skate, rolls in front of the lead goal. Dave Manson takes it to safety back of the net. The bank pass will come out at center ice. Hill corrals it there and shoots it back in again. Manson tries it again with rookie Baboda, who got it ahead for Perreault. Perreault going wide, got it in front of the net. That bounds off a couple of pairs of shin pads owned by the Blues. Along the wall, controlled by Korolev and sent back deeper into the zone. Turek almost lost it there to Berezin, and then he gets nailed by Mayers. Jamal Mayers gets back up, and the Toronto native gets it out at center ice. Pass intercepted by Markov. Manson up the middle. Berezin and Perreault both had their heads down there, and maybe it's a good thing neither of them controlled the puck because the Blues were circling in there with the bomb doors open. Igor Korolev went wide. Perreault, and the shot is going off a stick up into the crowd and out of play.
Alexander Kabanov, a 28-year-old rookie, came into the National League under different circumstances than most players. He's a civil engineer, a graduate of the Moscow School of Engineering. His boyhood idol growing up was not a hockey player, it was Albert Einstein. This guy has played over 20 minutes each game on the average, and he has been a jolly addition to the St. Louis Blues defense corps. St. Louis got 114 points as a team last year, and they've changed 3 of the 6 defensemen who played most of the games last year. And this civil engineer has had a great start in the National League. So if you want to build a team, hire a civil engineer is my suggestion.
28 years of age, he was an 8th-round pick, 232nd selected in the 99 draft. Now, Vault, nice pass. Shot, rebound, scores! Domi tips it in! Nick Antropov made the play, and Ty Domi followed it up. And this line has the Leafs out in front, 2-0.
What a beautiful pass by Gary Volk to get it to Antropov. And Antropov thought he might have scored the goal as they get McInnes coming into the inside. And then Ty Domi goes to the net, fighting Conroy off and chipping it in past a prone Turek. What a lovely backhand pass. And a good hard shot and a great stop by Turek, but he was in no shape to stop Ty Domi on the rebound. Here's a look from the angle Turek had on the second Leaf goal.
Well, in the first 22 games, the Blues have allowed 2 goals or less in 14 of those games. The Leafs have a pair here at the 3:18 mark, and Len Wheeler of St. Catharines has won the VTech New Double Team as a result of our $1 million score with the VTech contest. And Ty Domi has turned into a scoring machine, and he is leading in the Cy Young Award 5-0.
Well, I thought he should have had an assist in the first period because that point shot hit him and went right to Volk. I could hear it hit him.
All right. Here it is, back into the corner. Was it off his helmet?
Unless his helmet sounds like chimes. No.
Hey, thank you. Here's Thomas in over the line, puts the brakes on, tries to make a play along the boards. Hoagland tries to dig it free and can't, and the Blues a lead pass over 2 lines for Pavel Demitra. Let's go to Dave Hodge and find out what's going on elsewhere in the NHL.
There's a certain symmetry going on as the Leafs go up by 2. The Philadelphia Flyers are down by that many. Rebound of a shot from the point by Jamie Heward, put in by Petteri Numelin. Columbus up by 2 on the Flyers.
There are the goal scorers of this game.
The Volk Domi Antropov line has scored both goals, and as I mentioned earlier in the show, the balanced scoring has been a Leaf trait for a couple of years. Took a little while to show up this year, but it has, and it is one of the reasons why Toronto's challenging for first in their conference.
Blues back in the center ice area. Scott Young in over the line for Dallas. Great shot! And that went off the shoulder of Joseph just over the goal. He just did catch a glimpse of that and lifted that left shoulder up to get a piece of it. Another shot. Joseph with the stick save this time. Roberts gets it out into neutral ice. Back to retrieve it is Pavanov. Tucker handful of it. Is there a new rule that allows you to do that? Grab a handful of sweater and just water ski behind the goal. We've seen that 3 times here tonight. No penalties are called.
Fairway jerseys are on the horizon.
That's right. Corson along the board. Into the corner. Tucker jams great. Pass for Corson. A shot. Loose in the goal crease, but smothered by Turek as he looked a little uncomfortable there, trying to find it as the Leafs driving the net on the Corson shot.
Well, let's have a look at both goals scored by the Antropov line. The first one, Gary Volk. Here's the shot from the point. You can hear it. Hits Domi right in the groin. Goes to Volk. The backhand doesn't go in, but the forehand does. And here is a beautiful backhand pass through the legs of McInnes. The shot by Antropov, and the rebound by Domi makes it 2-0 Leafs. And Joseph handled a bullet shot right here. And it went not off his shoulder, Joe, off his chin.
Yep.
Chin up, Mother Brownie, singing to himself.
Yes, indeed, and that's why that overhang is down that way, because otherwise you take that right in the throat, and that ain't a lot of fun. They have made the applicable change in the goal just for you, Mr. Neal. The ringing of Ty Domi gets the assist on the first goal, so it's Volk from Domi and McCabe. As a Barrison shot is stopped by Roman Turek.
Well, the Leafs are up for this game. This is the best 30 minutes of hockey. 1 minute after another. I think they've played in quite a little while against one of the best teams in the league.
McInnes' pass for Mayers is shoveled deep into the lead zone. Manson got it ahead on the wing, but Barrison could not control it. Now Manson tries the other side. This will be cut off by Pavel Demitra. Eastwood into the corner, banging in there rather, and Heck trying to get it freed up from Korolev. Now Markov digs it free, banking it ahead for Perro. His blind pass for Barrison didn't work. out at center ice. Korolev regrouping the puck with Manson. Rink wide for Perreault, quickly to Berezin. Berezin controls, gets it in, and now sweeps it around back of the net. Cut off by Korolev. Korolev trying to find Perreault, who gets positioning on it, but then centered. Quick pass out in front, but it went off the skate of Salvador and brought out at center. Peck working in on the right wing, spun around by McCabe. The puck goes free. Salvador had it knocked away from him before he could drive the net. Out of center ice for McCabe. McCabe takes a bit of a swipe at Pronger. For the 1000th game, it looks like Dan Marawelli wants to set a record for fastest game, too.
13 faceoffs in the first period. Leafs won 9 of them. That is an all-time low in this rink this year.
There's McCabe ahead for Bolt. The Leafs have got their scoring line on the ice here as the pass comes ahead at center ice. McCabe shoots it right back in. Bolt's got a room on that left wing, looking in front of the net, and just out of the reach of Nicky Antropov. Back comes Pavel Demitra, working in over the line, dropping it back for Handzus, and the shot went wide. Rebound to Domi. Ty Domi coming to center. He'll dump it deep and head to the bench. Down on the boards, Ty has scored 3 goals in his last 4 games. Turgeon in over the line, trying to get around Cavalry. That didn't work. Now Young back of the net, centers in front of the net. It's not open to save. Great play there made by Yuskevich as he bowled over Dallas Drake to prevent him from getting an easy rebound. An icing call here against the Leafs, who lead it 2-0. You're watching Molson Canadian Leaf Hockey on TSN.
Real good defensive play by Kaberle. He's telling Turgeon, wiggle your head till your eyeballs fall out. I'm not going to look at the puck. And Yuskevich makes a good play in front of the net here to get Dallas Drake out of there when there's a rebound very available.
Still 2-0 Toronto. Blues centering, and Young had to go right between the wickets all the way down the ice.
Young, who had 13 goals in his first 13 games, has had but 1 in his last 9. So slumps happen to everyone, not just Matt Sundin and Steve Thomas.
Drake getting it on to Turgeon. He shoots it in. Here is Joseph. We get around the board. Hoagland tries to get it past Pronger and can't. Young in the corner with Turgeon back of the goal. Turgeon makes a nice move there against Svoboda. Loses him, centers, and that was tipped by Caberle. Young after it in the corner, and Caberle in there again. Gets the puck freed and starts out with it. Thomas Caberle pushing it ahead to Steve Thomas, and he'll snap it into the St. Louis end. Changes coming for both teams. Pronger round on the backhand to the left wing side, and Bartetsko gets it ahead for Turgeon. He drops it along, so it's a big rebound. Turgeon bowled over and tackled by Sundin. Play on, they say. Here's Manson to center ice. He shoots it. A new rule book come out here somewhere this week. I haven't got it.
Marawelli's got a banquet he's got to get to after the game.
He must.
To celebrate his 1,000th game as a referee.
Yes, so. And I guess Kevin McGuire's the guest speaker. Roberts taking a bit of a stick in the face as he comes back out of the lead zone slowly. Now Tucker can't get in. Here's Bartetsko coming back in over the line. Faking. Tried to hand it off to Michael Handzus. Handzus into the corner for Demitra. Back to the goal. Handzus looking in front. Trying to go to the net. The shot hits the side of the goal and unable to corral it there was Kavanagh. Bodies flying all over the place. Manson without a stick. Conrad gets around Tyson Nash and gave him the old headlock on the way by. Down goes a couple of Leafs. Here's Manson without a stick. Nash gets checked, and then the pass is out of the reach of Mike Eastwood. Back to the goal. Great play by the broken stick. Nice with the Nash with it, sending it back behind the goal. Manson still a penalty coming. Don't tell me. And down goes another player as Tucker went down. It's touched by Corson. Now we got a bit of a scrap starting in the Leaf zone with Roberts.
I think there were 2 penalties called there, Joe. The first one against the Leafs and the second one against the Blues. We'll have to wait and see. It looked like a rodeo out there for about 40 seconds.
For thousands of great gift ideas this holiday season, click here. Now shop online at CanadianTire.ca.
Well, it looks like both referees had Gary Roberts fingered there for the penalty. He got 4 minutes, but he was quite upset about the fact that he'd been hit in the face earlier with a stick. Corson throws a lovely block on him, and Roberts is very upset. He thought a penalty should have been called earlier, and so he takes 2 of them. Here's the first one. Tyson Nash.
That one.
And that is not...
Tucker then got upended by Kavanagh, but there was no call on that, and Roberts ends up getting 4 minutes. So the Blues get an opportunity here with a double minor to Gary Roberts, the Leafs' best penalty killing in the National Hockey League, and the Blues are 17th on the power play.
This is the first hockey game in the history of the National League that Bon Jovi's had an effect on the outcome, as it is still snowing from the confetti they had last night at the show here in the Air Canada Centre.
Sundin and Turgeon draw one. McInnes steps in and drive, and Joseph was out there biting his lip about 4 feet outside the blue line, looking right into the barrel of that gun.
I'm going to ask Curtis after the game whether when he gets out and gets the angle cut down and McInnes is walking off the point to shoot it, does he close his eyes? Knowing he can't move to stop it. It hits him or misses him.
I do know if you know a short prayer, it comes to mind very quickly.
Now, Turgeon's a slick customer, especially when he gets in behind the net. And if you're a defenseman on the defensive zone coverage and you're nominated to take Turgeon, you better get up pretty early because he can twist and turn and control that puck with the best of them.
Sundin and Turgeon facing off, and Turgeon wins the draw. Hoagland couldn't tip it by McInnes. McInnes on the board. Down low it goes. Dallas Drake gives the puck away. Good movement there by Hoagland, and Sundin and here away to the line. That'll be offside. Hoagland was in early. He was expecting to get the return pass, and it didn't come. And it's offside on the rush. The Leafs have scored just 1 shorthanded goal this year. The Blues have allowed 2.
Well, both these teams have done pretty well defensively. St. Louis, as we've mentioned a couple of times, the best goals against average as a team. Toronto's 3rd, and Toronto has the best penalty killing unit. St. Louis is 3rd. And when you're tops in these 2 categories, the chances are pretty good. You're up near the top of your division and or your conference, as both these teams are.
Korolev discussing with Yuskevich where he wants him positioned in the face-off area. Turgeon, Dimitra, and Young up front. McInnes and Pronger on the point. And a shot by Brian McCabe down the ice. Here's McInnes getting it ahead for the Blues. Dimitra back to McInnes, back to Dimitra. Dimitra works the far boards. Now a pass there by Turgeon was blocked. He gets it back again. Turgeon into the corner for Dimitra, allowed to walk out. The pass hit the skate of McCabe and went just wide. Pronger works to the front of the net and runs McCabe on the way by. They get jousting with one another as Pronger decides to pull it way to the front of the net. The puck down, and there's Joseph, and now here's Yuskevich. Pronger, McCabe, Korolev, linesman, 2 referees, everybody's into it. Chris Pronger's just had enough.
Well, he's gone to the front of the net like he often does in the power play. Here he's taken everybody on. And Pronger has played with a nasty streak tonight. And Pat Quinn is standing up, not to give him a standing ovation, but to see what's going on. There are going to be some penalties here, whether it's Merrill-Welly's 1000th game or not, but it'll be interesting to see how this is sorted out.
Brian McCabe and Pronger are in tow to the penalty box. Tonight's second period is brought to you by McDonald's. We love to see you smile. And by Castrol Syntec, the active lubricant.
The big 44 for St. Louis goes to the front of the net. And he looks for trouble there. He's trying to scream the point shot. It actually hits him, as you're going to see right coming here in the foot. And then he's taking on Yuskevich. In comes McCabe. In comes Volk. And this is a new definition of a 3-on-1. But finally, it's McCabe and Pronger that get into a battle, and they're explaining the penalty situations now to Matt Sundin. And Pronger has been a horse 30 minutes 2 years ago, 30 minutes last year. They've cut his ice time down by about 2.5 to 3 minutes this year.
That's in the first half of the season.
But
wait till things heat up.
Boy, when you've got a defenseman that wins the Norris Trophy and the Hart Trophy, and he can play half a game, you've got a real delicate advantage over most teams in this league.
I'm not sure it's delicate. I'm pretty sure it's fairly forceful. The linesman gotten nicked here and is taking a look. Steve Miller looking after him.
Steve Miller's getting looked after, Joel.
Oh, and looking after him is Ray Barrow, the trainer. There's Steve Miller getting looked at. Let's go to Dave Hod.
Joe, the second period is over in Columbus, and the Flyers are within one. Keith Primo's 7th goal of the season. He picks the corner on Ron Tugnut, and it is 3-2 Blue Jackets over the Flyers.
Pat Quinn isn't in agreement with the call.
And he's not in agreement where the faceoff is, because the Blues defenseman came in over the top of the circle to get involved in the skirmish, and that's why he's insisting that the faceoff go outside. But I don't think he's going to make... The rule is if during a skirmish the offensive defensemen come in beyond the top of the circle, there's 4 of them. The other guy stayed out there. The rule states, though, if you're in there when the skirmish starts, it's not the same.
Tucker going off the faceoff has his stick held, and that is going to even things up for a while. With 2:55 left in the double minor to Roberts, Dallas Drake is going to the penalty box.
Tucker tries to get out, and you can see his stick is being held. St. Louis is the second most penalized team in the league with reference to penalty minutes. Now, they do have quite a few majors, as Lowe has 13 majors. So maybe they're not in time short-handed, but Joel Quenneville was telling me that he hasn't been too happy with the fact that they've had a disproportionate number of power plays for and against. More against, obviously.
Got down into the St. Louis zone. Turk. Has it go off? Did it go off course? And he is trying to argue that it did not and that there should be a penalty, but it's not going to fall on active ears. Noon at 4 o'clock on TSN, it's the Vanier Cup. The Regina Rams against the Ottawa GGs for supremacy in the CIAU.
They've had some great football games, so if you're sitting around doing some chores at home, tune in. You'll enjoy that game.
The draw to the
University of Toronto's not in it, and the University of Windsor, but that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. Exactly right. Turnover, bringing it to center ice, trying to work in. There's Hanses, and it's turned over in front of the lead goal, and here's a 2-on-1 with Berezin and over the line with Perreault. Berezin for Perreault on the stick, and McInnes got in the way. They return the favor coming back at center. Hanses with a pass into the slot for McInnes. He couldn't control it. Perreault looking forward in his skates. Got it freed up for Danny Markov. Markov and Manson played up on the boards for Berezin. Berezin swept it out at center ice, but it is McInnes regrouping the puck now and brought back by Kavanagh. Alexander Kavanagh in over the line. Dimitra drops it back for Turgeon. Then the shot goes off. Dimitra back of the net. He tries to center. Bouncing puck is controlled by the Leafs, and here's Berezin bringing it out at center. Berezin in over the line, dropping for Sundin, going wide on the backhand. Sundin back of the net, tries to center! Scores! Matt Sundin ends a 13-game goalless drought as it goes off Sean Hill's foot, off the shoulder of Churik, and into the net.
And Matt Sundin is not 0 for November, as he gets a bit of a fortunate goal. It's the kind you need when goals are hard to come by. I was hoping he'd backhand it here, but and it goes off Hill and then off Turek and in. And the piano that has been playing some unpleasant tunes on the back of Mats Sundin is now singing a bit of a lullaby. I knew I'd score eventually, he's saying.
Yes, that's right. Look at this. And into the net it goes. Just the 8th time this season the Blues have allowed 3 or more goals in a game. So Mats Sundin has number 5 in the year. Here's Sundin dropping for Jonas Höglander. Barrison gets the lone assist. And the Maple Leafs are out in front 3-0. Eastwood dropping it for Hill, and it's offside at the Toronto blue line. It's 3-0 Toronto here in the second period. Stay tuned following the game for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Super 8.
This place for that kind of money?
Organizer. 3-0 Toronto. They've outshot the Blues 16-14. Turek didn't get much of a break on that goal. Off Hill's stick, off his shoulder, and into the net. Here's Volk! Going into the front of the net! And Gary Volk almost had his second. Turgeon dropping it for McInnes. The Blues are back on the power play as it's shot in. Escaping around the boards for Korolev. He loses it. Turgeon looking for a man in front. Turgeon centers. Well, Balkan comes all the way out at center ice. Last right back in again by St. Louis. Turgeon on the left wing side. Back to the point to McInnes. Over it comes now to Kavanos. He tries to center off a stick. Shot down the ice quickly by Cavalier.
The Leafs,
seconds in the penalty.
The Leafs get their 4th goal of the season, playing 4 skaters against 4 to make it 3-0.
Pass intercepted. Darcy Tucker! Stopped by Roman Turek's right leg, or this game was over. McInnes around back of the net. Got it up on the wing. Jamal Mayers ahead. It goes to Eastwood. To Heck, the shot high over top of Curtis Joseph. Mayers trying to play it back in. Eastwood is there trying to make a play, but it's brought out now by Tucker. He gets around one. Corson is with him. Tucker dropping it back for Roberts to the point to Manson. Scores! Dave Manson may have his first as a Leaf, but was Shane Corson in position to maybe touch it on the way through?
If Shane Corson did not touch it, it is career goal number 99 for David Manson. And it was a little bit of a breakdown on the rush here, as St. Louis is in great shape, and the Leafs look like they've got nothing going, and Manson from 59 feet out, right straight in on the short side, through the legs of Shane Corson. So it's quite evident that Turek probably could not see this shot, or couldn't see all of it. And the Leafs, with 5:45 to go in the second period, are up 4-0, and here's what I'm talking about here. He may have seen the last 10 feet of it, but had no chance. Manson puts the Leafs up 4-0.
David Manson's first in a Leaf uniform. Ty Domi and Lowe. These two met early in the season, and Lowe's had 13 of these this season. This is Ty's 7th. Lowe getting a few hands in, but Ty got in some early ones. Lowe is 6'4" and 222 from Moose Jaw. And the crowd is chanting his name.
14 majors, this makes it for Lowe.
And this is a long bout. Ty gets one through. Well, Ty's laughing, and Lowe is grinning as well.
Boy, if you can get a guy to laugh during the fight, the joke must be a dandy.
It's gotta be. Short one, too. Now they're going to separate them, and that was a Major League bout. 4-0 Toronto. The goal scored to make it 4-0. Roberts and Tucker get the assists. And then Ty Domi and Reed Lowe engaged in a heavyweight bout at 14-18.
That's 3 of the 4 lines that have scored for the Leafs tonight, so that balanced scoring that I mentioned, which was such a factor in their good offensive team last year, is starting to raise its head this year.
Joseph pounces on a puck with Tyson Nash in the vicinity. And there'll be a face-off to the right of Curtis Joseph. Lowe had 2 shifts in the first period. That was his first of the second. As we look at Ty's numbers this season, he has already tied his goal total for the year.
He's 6 short of his career high, 96-97. And that line has been very effective tonight, Mr. Domi, Antropov, and Gary Maltz.
Harrison getting some extra work on the line with Domi in the penalty box. Centering effort, off his skate, dribbling just to the line and out, and brought in offside. In the eye of Steve Miller, the linesman.
The Leafs play back-to-back games, 44 of them this year. Tomorrow they're in the island in New York. They're 1-2-1 in the first game so far of back-to-back games this year, and 3-0-1 in the second. St. Louis go home for 3 home games in a row after tonight.
If you're looking for a great Christmas gift for the hockey fan in your life, this publication put out by the National Hockey League and Brad Diamond, the editor, is an absolute must. It is the encyclopedia of hockey, total hockey. It weighs 6 pounds. It has everyone who has ever played a game in the National Hockey League. And Dan Diamond has done a great job of doing the work on it. And Sundin hits the goal post. That got in behind Turek. Sundin back of the net. Looking to make a play out in front. Still with it. Chips it back to Caberlet. Off to Sundin. Sundin cross ice for Svoboda. Svoboda with the shot right on. Turek stopped that. Thomas trying to sweep it in front. Has it picked away. And Jeff Finley plays it on the boards to center ice. That book really does have every bit of information you could possibly think of in the National Hockey League over the history of this league.
And if you bench press it every night for an hour, you're going to gain a lot of strength.
Yes, you will. Brought out at center ice now by Scott Young. Works it over the line. Drops it for Drake. His shot is deflected wide of the goal. Young trying to set up shop on the side. Turgeon sees him there. Tried to center. Blocked by Svoboda. And it'll be cleared to center ice. Salvador couldn't get away. Corson gets it on to Tucker. He sends it to the net, and a good save made there by Turek as Roberts went roaring to the net. That was almost like an alley-oop pass in basketball.
This holiday season,
These 3 players know on this line is somebody's always going to the net, so it's not a bad play to get the puck there. Now, I don't know whether that could be classed as a classic pass, but Roberts going to the net, as he so often does, nearly put it in. And a nice play by Tucker, knowing his buddy was headed to Peter.
Blues have not given up 5 goals in a game this year. They've surrendered 4 on 3 occasions. And the Leafs have added to that, now make it 4 as they lead 4-0. And the glove pass is whistled down with 3:41 to go.
As I mentioned earlier, Pierre Turgeon is a slippery individual in the offensive zone behind the net. Corson gives you a great example of just containing him. He didn't waste any time trying to pin him against the glass because he may have rolled off him. He just made sure he couldn't come out from behind the net with a puck. And Conroy, Turgeon, and Corson were all in a deal in October.
Perro, Korolev, and Berezin. As Ty Domi getting some
Bon Jovi tickets, I think.
I don't know what they were. Something from the bench. His knuckles may be a little sore. Maybe some bandages. Shot in over the line. Turek out of the goal, plays it up the board. 21 shots for the Maple Leafs, 16 for the St. Louis Blues. Offside at the St. Louis blue line. 3:31 left to go here in the second period.
Well, Joel Quenneville can't be very happy the way his Blues have played tonight, but he has done a masterful job with the team since joining them. Their road record since 1995-96 is superb. The 3 teams that have a better road record and the 4th-5th team, the Stars, have all won Stanley Cups. And winning on the road is a trademark of a championship team more often than not in this league.
Carroll knocked down by Hill. Played out at center ice. Kicked back to the blue line, and it is retrieved by Kavanagh, who plays it back, gets it returned, and is passed just out of the reach of Berezin. Demitra in over the line. Korolev intercepts, quickly gets it out again. Hill up the middle for Conroy, doesn't work. Demitra stripped of the puck by Perreault. Tyson Nash trying to work his way in, gets it into the slot, dropping it back. Kavanagh steps in with a pass that is harshly blocked. Demitra rolls it to the side of the net. Can't play, stop, rebound, down, Joseph, another save! Another block play there by Zabora, by McCabe at the side of the goal. Yuskevich can't get it out, he doesn't have a stick. Here's Nash with it again, taken down by Yuskevich. Puck underneath the fallen player. Demitra coming out in front of the net, and Finley had it bounce off his stick. What a save by Joseph at the side of the net. Another shot deflects wide. Penalty coming. Yuskevich who had regained his stick, used it on the back of Conroy, and will be penalized once the Leafs touch the puck, and that happens with Korolev getting it there, and Kevin Maguire has the call. Yuskevich, without the stick, was doing fine, got the stick in his hands, and cross-checked Conroy in front of the net.
Well, whenever you're hemmed in your own end for this length of time, you usually get scored on or you take a penalty. And there is the penalty right there. A pretty easy call for the referee. Third
Power play. Ty's gone to the bench. I think he may have to get some medical attention to his knuckles.
And I think he showed the referee, because when he comes back out, he's going to have bandages on it. And they aren't on to help him be more successful in fisticuffs. Joseph's down, and some great play by McCabe to stop the pass out, then knocked it away while lying on his stomach.
17:53 the time of the Yuskevich penalty, and the Leafs a man short for the 3rd straight time. McInnes ahead for Dallas Drake. Now to Turgeon, stood up there by Shane Corson, and right back into the blue zone it goes. Minute 45 to play in the second period. It has been a big one for the Leafs, who blow open a 1-0 lead with 3 goals here in the second period. Manson sweeps it ahead, and Tucker is away with Pronger back. Tucker will shoot it, and Pronger going to stick in the way and sends that into the crowd and out of play. Speaking of Christmas gifts, what a great stocking stuffer this is. The Leaf Daytimer available at national sport locations throughout the Greater Toronto area, as well as the Center Ice Sports store here at Air Canada Centre. Some great shots of the family members, and there's one of the goal scorers tonight, Gary Volk and his lovely family. Mom and Dad here as well, and Gary opened the scoring with his 3rd of the season at 8:38 of the first period. All of the money raised from the Daytimer going to the Hospital for Sick Children and other charities.
And that's a great buy for any hockey fan.
Pronger getting a new stick and coming back into the fray. Native of Dryden, Ontario.
197 career assists for Chris Pronger. Leads the team as usual with a nice +15 before tonight's game.
Blues organize the power play. Pronger sends it rink wide. In over the line for Heck. Trying to make a play in front, but it's cut off by Sundin and sent out at center ice. McInnes for Heck. Logan Heck in over the line. Drops for Demitra. Demitra looking for McInnes. Works the half board. Down low it goes to Heck. Back out now for Demitra. He's got Bartetsko in front. The shot coming off the glove of Joseph wide of the goal. Swept around the board by Heck. And it goes all the way out at center ice. Leafs get one of their penalty-killing forwards exchange. McInnes being pounded there by Hoagland. Pulls away from him. Shot in off Demitra. Joseph out of the goal. Backhands around the board. Heck got a piece of it, but not enough. And Cavalier gets it freed up for Hoagland, and he tees it up and sends it down the ice. Half minute to go in the period. And now 20 seconds left in the Yuskevich minor. Shot in wide of the lead goal. Manson pounds it on the glass, and out and down the ice it goes again. 8 seconds left in the penalty. A dozen now left in the period. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to enjoy maybe their best period of hockey that they've played this season. Icing call against the Blues with 4.2 seconds left in the penalty over. The Leafs 3 for 3 in the penalty killing department. They've allowed 2 of their last 25 man times short.
And Curtis Joseph, who's had to put up with 19 St. Louis shots, has been perfect in goal. He has been busier on other nights, and he hasn't had the luxury very often of playing with a 4-0 lead. Takes one off the chin there for the team. And if he isn't the one-quarter pole Hart Trophy, Vezina Trophy candidate, then the voters haven't been watching him play.
Draw to the right of his counterpart in the St. Louis zone. Roman Churik, 30 years of age from the Czech Republic. A draw, scrum to the far boards, and time will run out. Bell Express to use center ice package. In the first period, Gary Volk's third of the season for McCabe and Antropov, and then 3 unanswered more in the second period. Domi's fifth. Sundin breaks that 13-game scoring drought. Dave Manson has his first in a Leaf uniform, and it is 4-0. So the Maple Leafs carry that into the third period. Dave Manson's growth, if you're scoring at home, that ended a 45-game scoring drought.
Do you think he felt sorry for Matt who's on 13?
Nobody could at least talk to him about it, I guess. You think that's bad, Matt? Where do you see mine? Yuskevich touches an icing, and it'll be brought back into the St. Louis zone.
Well, Matt Sundin scored his first goal in 13 games, but he's been pretty effective tonight defensively. Here he is in his own zone on Partexco. He scored 3, and then he comes back here just in time to knock Turgeon down. Roars one off the goal post right here, and then doesn't miss on a bit of a gimme as he rounds the net, throws it off Hill and off Turek and into the net.
Corson, Roberts, and Tucker. Sent out by Pat Quinn. It comes into the slot for Caberlet. His shot went off, heck wide of the net. And it's played around on the near boards, and McInnes now tries to find some room. Nice maneuver there by Salvador. Got it out, but Caberlet stepped in front of the pass. Got it to the line. Tucker works in on the left wing. Roberts arriving to support the puck. The pass back to him was picked off. Picked out at center ice. Caberlet has it again. Here is Svoboda. 2 Pecos play it deep into the Blues end. Back out and bounce down into the Toronto zone. Perreault after the puck with Heck facing him. On the wing it comes. Bears and traps the loose puck and got it out at center ice. Johan Heck up on the left wing and rolled into the Toronto zone by Michael Hanzig. Leafs will leave for Long Island immediately after the game. They'll play there tomorrow night. Hill taking it around the boards. And it's brought out at center ice, and Eastwood up on the right side for Mares. He is hit by Markov. Mares there missed Markov by about 10 feet. It's centered in front of the goal, and standing on it there was Hanzig as it's brought to center ice. Bears it in on the right wing. Snaps it to the side of the goal, stopped by Turek. Centered into the slot, Dave Manson with a wrist shot coming that is blocked, and Hill will get it out at center ice. Jamal Mayer plays it deep into the Toronto end. Back of the goal, trying to get it away from Bartechko. It comes up on the right side. Volleyball to center ice then by Danny Markov. Long shooting and a pad save made by Joseph. Nick Antropov back of the net for Manson. Right back for defense partner Markov on the glass, and out at center ice it goes. Conger. These two teams will meet one more time in St. Louis. Brought back in now by Antropov. In for Volk, and he couldn't get a shot away. And now here is Reed Lowe coming away at center. Low in over the line, dropping for Tyson Nash. Shot went wide of the goal. Parker tries to get it in front. Low gets it in front of the net for Nash. That was blocked by Yuskevich in front. And Antropov is away with Domi. Domi in over the line on the right wing with balls. The pass is for Antropov. That might be Ty Domi. I don't think Antropov touched the puck. But this line has another one, and Reed Lowe's at 3 shifts or 4 shifts is -3.
I think Ty Domi's attempted pass to Antropov went in. And so Domi looks like he has his second goal of the night. Dmitry Yuskevich makes a big shot block. He leads the National League in that department, and away they go. Watch how hard Antropov goes down the middle. Domi wants to pass it to him. It went underneath the sliding St. Louis defenseman and skittered by Turek for the goal to make it 5-0. And that's the end of Turek. And we have Brent Johnson coming in to play the rest of the third period for St. Louis. His statistics are amazing. And so are his flexible legs by the looks of that exercise. Here's another look at the goal. Did it hit Finley? No, well, right under Finley, and Turek, I think, was playing Antropov and got kind of fooled by it. The trickled between his legs.
Right between the wickets. You almost needed a broom to sweep it over the goal line. But it is 5-0, and for the first time this year, the St. Louis Blues have surrendered 5. McKinnon can't get away, and out at center ice now comes Roberts. Roberts chipping it in. On goes Corson, centering in front of the net. Loose puck down is Johnson, and it is cleared away, and out comes D'Amico. Oh, he missed a hit from Tucker, who was sliding through. Tucker in for Corson, too far. Domi's second. His career high is 11. He now has 6.
Has he ever in this league had a hat trick?
I think I might wager a no on that, but Sundin in over the line. Antropov and Yuskevich get the assists. And it's cleared out at center ice. In over the line it goes for Mayer. Mayer's into the corner with Caberlet. Around the boards it goes. Now back to the blue line. A shot gloved by Joseph and held on the wrist shot taken. The Blues, when they arrived here tonight, had surrendered 39 goals against. And they have had 5 here tonight. Toronto puts one in, and Kelly Worrell of Markham is a winner in our score with VTech. The VTech 2.4 gigahertz digital spread Spectrum cordless telephone.
Watch Ty Domi give the little head fake right here. To Pronger, and then slid it under Finley and through the legs of Turek for his second goal of the night, his 6th of the season, and the 3rd for the line of Antropov, Vault, and Domi.
Well, the Leafs are doing their goaltender a favor, too, as far as the Jennings Trophy is concerned.
Waylon Jennings?
No, just the Jennings Trophy for goaltenders and for the defensive prowess of the team. St. Louis was at the top of the heap and still is coming into this game. They're a lot closer. And to answer your burning question about Ty, we have a definitive no on that trip. Although, Perreault in over the line, shooting, and that was stopped by Johnson as it just went wide. Centering effort doesn't work. I am sure that they are going to try to give Mr. Domi every opportunity to produce that. As a long shot is gloved on the short side by Curtis Joseph. Yannick Perreault with a good chance on young Brent Johnson.
Well, Perreault got a bit of a half breakaway from just inside his own blue line. And it is the first time in Perreault's career that he's being chased by a civil engineer. And there it is right there, but he cannot beat Brent Johnson. Here it is. I know it. And I'll tell you, the civil engineer got a little bit of a stick that may have bothered Perreault on the breakaway.
You are just full of information. Shot scores from the blue line. Pronger beats the glove hand of Curtis Joseph. And there won't be back-to-back shutouts against the Blues.
Well, this shot went off the post. The draw came right back to Pronger. Gary Volk got out there about as quickly as you could, and look where Joseph is, so he's back a long way in the net for him, but I think the shot kind of surprised him, but it had a lot of velocity on it. So Pronger gets the first goal for the Blues, his 4th of the year on a 58-footer.
And it is 5-1. Nash hooked down, and a penalty call coming. Nash, a word from Domi.
Well, Antropop's going to get the penalty, and there was no doubt about it, as he hooked Nash in the center zone. These are the kind of penalties you don't want to take this close to your own bench, because Nash had a long way to go to get into scoring territory, and it was kind of a lazy man's hook. So, mistake by young Antropop. But someone once said, when a prospect like Antropop makes a mistake, better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without.
Who said that?
Albert Langlois.
Was that after concerning the case of beer or before? Oh, boy. Dimitra after the puck. This is the 4th power play of the game. Pronger shot kicked away by Curtis Joseph. Along the boards, back to the blue line, it comes to McInnes. McInnes challenged by Tucker. Back into the corner, goes to Heck for Dimitra. Back to Johan Heck. He's challenged by Yuskevich. Stolen by McCabe. On the boards for Tucker. Can't get it by McInnes. Dimitra is knocked down, and it's slapped down the ice by Shane Corson. Brett Johnson is the nephew of Sid Abel, is he not?
Yes, he is. Both St. Louis goalies were acquired for 3rd-round draft pick.
Heck is shot right on, stopped by Curtis Joseph.
Johnson through Colorado.
Tipped out in front of the net. Hoagland intercepts, drops it off for Danny Markov. Back for Hoagland. Hoagland working to the line and in. Didn't have much support going to the net as the Leafs were changing. Now it's sent back, and a pass over 2 lines is gobbled up there by Igor Korolev. And it'll come back into the Toronto zone with 53 seconds left in the penalty to Nick Antropop.
Well, Pat Quinn has to be really pleased with his team. They've been very dangerous offensively. All 4 lines have. 3 of the 4 lines have scored. And they haven't spent nearly as much time in their own end as they did in previous games, especially recently. And Matt Sundin has scored to get rid of his slump. Domi has 2. Volk has 1. And so this is a nice way to start 3 games in 4 nights. Tomorrow on Long Island, and Saturday night, the New York Rangers visit the Leafs.
Korolev wins the draw, and Markov chases it down, winging it around the boards. Cracked by Hill and kept in. Blues trying to organize their power play. The 4th such occurrence they've had this evening at the point. Hill! That would have been a great shot if he'd have made any contact, but he did not. Vault lifts it back into St. Louis territory. Civil engineer goes back to pick it up. Kavanagh coming to center. On the right side for Drake. Dallas Drake puts it back to Hill. Hill into Drake at the half court. Rotates it into the corner. Now goes to the front of the net. A pass, scores! There's that civil engineer again.
Some blueprints come true, and that he knew enough to leave the point and come off on the power play. And the right penalty killing forward has to keep his eye on the left point man when the puck's over on the other side of the rink. It's Korolev here. The puck's over on the left side, right side of the rink as you're looking at Joseph. Korolev turns his back too late. And the score is now 5-2 on a power play goal right here by Kavanagh on a nice goal and a nice execution, just as it was printed on the plans.
So it is 5-2. The Blues have scored a couple here. And can get right back into this game if they get a third. As a long pass for Carroll is too far. Johnson out of the goal to swing it on the boards, and it bounds to center ice, and here's a 2-on-1. Here's Eastwood in, going to the net with a pass, stopped by Joseph, and poked away as Jamal Mayers went to the net. Mayers tries to center, goes off the stick into the near corner. And after taking the 5-0 lead, the Leafs have kind of sat back, expecting the game to be over, and the Blues have not given up the fight. Kaberle getting it ahead. Bartetsko and Drake with the assist. Now along the board. It is cleared to the line and out. Yuskevich has to go back. Bartetsko and Drake with the assist. Kavanagh with his second goal of the season. And the Leafs give up the power play goal for the 8th time this year.
Well, Ty Domi's never had a hat trick, but he did tonight set a personal record by 3 points. He's never done that before in an NHL game.
Here's Conroy in, but it's offside at the Toronto blue line. The Leafs 5, the Blues 2 here in the third. Here it is 5-2. The Leafs with the lead. They've taken a 5-0 lead, but goals from Pronger and Kavanagh have got them back into the game. Balk, Antropov, and Domi, though, combined, as you can see, for 3 goals and 7 points.
Domi has a goal, an assist, and a fight. Is that a Gordie Howe? Is that what they call him?
That's right.
I think they do, don't they?
Yeah, the Saskatchewan hat trick.
Right.
The Gordie Howe hat trick.
Goal, assist, and fight.
That's what I think Mrs. Manson was hoping that David was going to have during his 1000th game.
For thousands of great gift ideas, wrapped and delivered, click here. Now shop online at CanadianTire.ca.
Pretty sure that's a Cape Breton hat trick, too.
Let's put it this way. For Ty, it's a new one.
That's right.
That line has been the best line for the Leafs. 3 goals, and they've missed 2 or 3 good chances as well.
Dimitra kicks it into the corner. Handzus trying to get away from Shane Corson. Then Corson tackles his man as Heck was there. Heck was running some interference, and then Corson took him down. They're going to call it holding.
Boy, this is a bad penalty to take by Shane Corson. Most of his penalties come out of real aggressive play. But with 11:29 to go, if St. Louis ever gets a power play goal, and this is an easy penalty to call, Hecht is thrown to the ice as he runs a little interference on Corson. So the Leafs are in the penalty kill mode again. The last time they were in this situation, St. Louis scored.
So with 11:29 left, this game has far from being decided, as the Blues have mounted a comeback here after spotting the Leafs a 5-0 lead. Al MacInnis, Chris Pronger back on the points. And moving into the faceoff, Michael Handzus won the draw. MacInnis at the right point to Pronger. Back to MacInnis. Shot coming. Scores! And the St. Louis Blues are right back in the game.
We all know Al MacInnis has got the great shot. But getting a slap shot away as quickly as he does makes it even doubly dangerous. And he throws it over to Pronger. Pronger will throw it back and then gone. No step anywhere, gone. Wasn't tipped in front. This shot has a vapor trail on it. And as if he hasn't done that before by the looks of him. So the Leafs, and I think that goal was tipped by Handzus, but we'll have to see. It may hit the Leafs defenseman in, but nevertheless, 11:15 to go, 5-3 now.
Now here's Dimitrov at the side of the goal. Sundin is hauled down. The play goes on. Blues still with the puck. Backhanded to the side of the net. Down back of the goal goes Kaberle on the boards for Hoagland. He gets it out. I'm kind of surprised that Pat Quinn didn't call time out there, maybe to just try to settle things down. But the Blues have scored 3 straight and now are right back in the game, trailing by a pair.
He may be saving that timeout for a more dangerous situation with a minute or 2 to go and the opposing goalie out.
Here's Pronger back in his own zone. Pronger and Handzus with the assist.
So if it was tipped, it hit a Maple Leaf player, not a St. Louis player, like I thought it may have hit Jesus.
Second straight power play goal by the Blues, and the Leafs give up a pair of power play goals for the first time in quite a while. Shot out and down the ice. Back to retrieve it is Kavanagh. On back of the net, Tucker up forechecking on Kavanagh, who drops it for Sean Hill. Hill fans him. That's twice he's done that now. Trying to get it ahead. It comes to the blue line and is shot in by Dallas Drake. Joseph leaving it there. Yuskevich plays it around the board. Now back to the net it goes. The centering effort there by Turgeon didn't work. And Tucker starts away with Roberts. Roberts to center ice. In over the line for Corson. That didn't work. Johnson coming out of the goal. Now Tucker around back of the net. Tries to roll it in front. And Roberts couldn't get his stick on it. Not since October the 31st when the Ottawa Senators scored a pair of power play goals have the Leafs given up a deuce in that department. And they have here on back-to-back efforts in this third period to make it 5-3. McInnes starting away for St. Louis. Straight to center. Long shot. Oh, and a tough save. And the rebound goes off to the goal. As Joseph gave up a big rebound off that tough save with the right pass. Cleared on the boards by Manson. Kept in by St. Louis. Barteshko sends it wide of the net. Eastwood back to the goal against Korolev. Centers in front of the net. Back to the point for McInnes. Has got off the skate. Rolling puck in front. Still goes backhanded wide of the goal. As Jamal Mayer's had a great chance. Cleared ahead now for the Leafs, and out comes Korolev with Berezin. In for Berezin. Spun off the puck there and looking into the corner. Perro curl. Centers off the leg. And it went wide of the net. Kept in there by Korolev, and he is bodied by Mayers, losing his helmet in the process. Korolev gets his stick back and heads back to the Leaf bench. Now in comes Conroy. Finally into the corner, misses a hit. Now Tyson Nash as the Blues have gotten their confidence back. Into the slot now, a shot by Lowe's blocked. And it's cleared in the backhand by Berezin down the ice. Vault chasing after puck. Couldn't reach him. Finley ahead for Lowe. Lowe had it swept off his stick. Svoboda after it as Lowe misses a hit. It's back to the net for Nash. Tyson Nash coming out in front. Pass back to the point. Finley shot. Blocked in front of the net by Caberlet. Vault gets it high in the air and a race for it with Hoagland and Pronger. Pronger chopping at it. Just didn't get enough. Michael Hanser's turn. 7.5 minutes to play. Third period. Laid up on the board. You don't win the President's Trophy by folding your tent when you find that you're behind. And the St. Louis Blues are demonstrating just that here in this third period.
2 unnecessary penalties has led to this dilemma.
Thomas after the puck in the corner. Johan Heck couldn't get to it. Kept in, no. Outside the line, says the linesman. 7:11 to play. Third period. The Leafs by 2.
Jersey Devils broke a 1-1 tie with goals by Jason Arnott and Brian Rafalski. Look what Peter Nedved does to keep the Rangers back in the game. A highlight reel goal. 3-2 Devils over the Rangers.
Face-off outside the St. Louis blue line. 7:10 remaining to be played in the third period. Slapped in by Young. Trapped by Joseph back to the net for Yuskevich. He pounds it around the boards. Tucker is nailed at the blue line.
He never touched the puck. It could have been and probably should have been interference.
Hill stands back of the... Well, if he didn't touch the puck, why wasn't there ice? So I guess that's what they were talking about, or at least thinking. The linesman must have felt that he did touch the puck.
Well, when the opposing defenseman pinches and it goes all the way down, they often wave the icing away. Like they should have on this one.
Tucker after it, but isn't going to reach it in time, and now has a word on the way by with Alexander Kavanagh, who straightened him at the blue line. Tucker heading back to the face-off circle. Tonight's third period is brought to you by Chevrolet. Safe and fun hockey. Coming up after the game, it's James Duffy and Gino Reda on TSN Sports Desk with all of the highlights and activities of the National Hockey League and the world of sports. And here's why Darcy Tucker got a little upset.
Well,
He touched it.
Kavanagh, who was trying to time it, so when Tucker touched it, he knocked him down, but he was a little early. And that's what upset Mr. Tucker, who knew that he was ready to receive the pass, but never did get it.
McInnes at the right point, lost it to Hoagland. Hoagland dodged. McInnes got it to Thomas, back to Hoagland, trying to roll it in front. And around the far boards it goes as Thomas tries to get it away from Dimitra. Cleared to the line. Markov kept it in, but didn't get it in deep. Lead pass at center for Johan Heck. Heck from a sharp angle fired it wide, and the ensuing rebound ricochets all the way down the ice. McInnes back of the goal. Headed out at center. Manson blocked it. Tipped back in by Hoagland. McInnes back on the far side. And now here's Dimitra trying to work through center ice. Dimitra in over the line. Trying to play it into the slide. Down the shore! Michael Handzus. It is 5-4.
Well, the Leafs, as good as they looked for 2 periods, have played a very poor third period, mentally and physically. And with 5:40 to go, Handzus puts the St. Louis Blues within reach as he comes off the wing and is all alone to take the pass to make it 5-4. Dimitra lays it in. And nobody took Handzus, who went to the net. It bounced off Dave Manson's foot right onto the stick of Handzus, and he made no mistake. For his 5th goal of the season, and makes it 4 straight games in which he's got at least 1 point.
Well, Joe Quenneville may have made the big move of the game. The goaltending change has had a dramatic impact on this. He made a big save on Yannick Carroll on the breakaway, and since then his Blues have caught fire. He won 7 straight games, did Brent Johnson. Now a shot by Young is gloved by Joseph and held for a faceoff. The Blues have rallied to within 1.
Do you remember when it was 5-0 Toronto and Perreault had a breakaway and couldn't beat Johnson? It is now 5-4 Toronto with 5:16 to go.
Face off to the left of Curtis Joseph. Eastwood and Perreault facing off. Greg Dvorsky getting them organized. And the draw won by the Blues. Here's McInnes dropping it back. Young's first shot and a split save made by Joseph. Svoboda gets it ahead for Perreault. He doesn't get it out the first time, does the second. Bears it, making a move at the red line. In over the line for Perreault. Korolev couldn't get to it, doesn't matter. Offside is called on a slow whistle.
Let's have a look at the 4 St. Louis goals, all of them coming in the 3rd period. Oh, bullet by Pronger. That's the first one. And there's the second one. Kavanagh comes off the blue line and scores. Then McInnes lets a comet go. And then Handzus scores on a beautiful little pass from Dimitra, and he backhands it up over Joseph, and that's where we are now. The Leafs hanging on and the Blues coming on.
Hill gets it over on the wing, and Heck shoots it in. Both Pronger and McInnes on the bench, but for how long? Centering pass doesn't work. Shot at the blue line, deflects just wide. Here's Dimitra centering for Heck, off the post. In back of the goal, the wraparound. Joseph swings his sticks. Here's Heck trying to come out in front, loses it. Knocked down at the side of the goal, the goal's in front. Joseph pokes it ahead, but not out. Yuskevich in the corner with Dimitra. Got it freed, and Sundin ices the puck. And hanging on, you are right by their thumbs, they're hanging on. As it is whistled down, and a face-off coming in the Toronto zone. You talked about maybe utilizing that timeout a little later when it was a 1-goal game and the goalie out, and that's Pat Quinn's dilemma right now with 4:22 left.
Never mind a timeout. Pat wants to know if they can go straight time the rest of this period. 4:22 to go.
That one earlier off the post. Then Joseph made another good save and a good poke check. And the face-off to the right. Corson getting a lesson in face-off etiquette and is able to win the draw. Manson pumps it around the board, but Pronger cuts in front of Roberts. Pronger back to the blue line. Out at center it comes. Young has filled in behind him. The Blues like to work that play with Young coming back to the point, allowing the defenseman to ping. And he can shoot the puck from back there. He's worked the power play on a number of teams.
7-1, the chances to score in the third period. 12-3, both those stats in favor of the team in blue.
Now, loose puck to the corner for Pronger. Back of the net, too far. Dallas Drake couldn't corral it. Now Roberts will get it out, but behind Corson. McInnes and Pronger on together. So that is the strategy here for Joel Quenneville to get them on together as often as he can. Tucker dumps it in and then took a hit from McInnes. Pronger around back of the net with 3:26 left to play in the third period. And with a timeout coming, one would think this tandem will be on the defense for the Blues for almost the rest of this game. Center in front, Berenson almost had a gift there. Trying to keep it in is Caberlet, but he cannot. Eastwood is in with Nash. Eastwood with a shot. That's blocked. Berenson chasing and had it knocked away. A loose puck in front. His backhanded wide. Korolev has broken his stick. Penalty coming here. Pass in front of shot stopped by Joseph. Rebound into the corner. It's touched, and now the Hornets' nest is really on. The arm is up from Dan Maruelli. The DNA evidence may be all over the ice. Is it Korolev getting the penalty?
The Leafs have given up 2 power play goals the last 2 times they've taken penalties. Caberlet pinches down the boards, can't keep it in, and on the ensuing rush, the Leafs take a penalty right there as he broke his stick over Nash, did Korolev, and the Leafs with 2:56 to go in the third period will have to kill another penalty off to keep this 1-goal lead.
This is the 6th straight power play the Blues have had. The Leafs had a power play in the first period, but since then it's been all St. Louis. And they are 2 for their last 2, getting them right back into this game. Antropov and Corson taking penalties that put the Leafs in a hole, and now they're in a huge problem right here. Dimitra at the half board. Heck gets it back to him. Dimitra. Cross ice for McInnes. The shot! Glove by Curtis Joseph. What a save that was with traffic in front of the net. Michael Handzus was right in front of the Leaf netminder, and that had some mustard on it coming from Al McInnes. And the mustard is right there. His hand is a little sore from making the catch.
Well, Joseph knows all about McInnes' shot, and better than the stop, Joe, which wasn't an easy one, no rebound. And Mike Kitchen here thinks it might have gone in. Former Leaf assistant coach and a popular fellow among Leaf players who had the joy of playing for him.
Draw one by the Leafs. Yuskevich tees it up, and off the glass and down the ice it goes. 2.5 minutes to play in the third period. The Leafs clinging to a 5-4 lead after having a 5-0 advantage. All but vanished. On the board, Heck against the wall there with McKay. McKay tries to get it out, but McInnes will trap at the blue line. Got around Corson. Off to the side to Pronger. Down low it goes, and unable to handle it with Handzus. Heck back to the net, has it bounce over his stick. McInnes chases it down, but it goes over the glass. And the face-off is where? Outside the blue line. Van makes a great move and just was able to wedge all of that body down between the seats to get his souvenir.
And here it is. Pat Sundin scores his first in 13 games. Domi has 3 points, 2 of them goals. 4 goals by St. Louis in the third period. And 5 goals against is the most the Blues have given up in any one game this year. 2:07 to go. The Leafs still have 1 minute and 11 seconds to kill a penalty off.
And tonight's game story brought to you by Chevrolet. Safe and fun hockey. Stick being replaced. Al McInnes buying some breathing time for the rest of this power play unit, particularly Mr. Pronger. Draw one by the Blues, but it rolled out over the line. Now they say it's onside. Bounce to the far side. That looked like it rolled out over the line. Now here's Young holding the half board. Still with it. Passing in front of the net. And alone in front was Drake, but he couldn't handle the puck. Young to the far board. Bartetsko is in front, but it's intercepted and swept out and down the ice. Now here's McKinnon. Bringing it back. 40 seconds in out of the goal. Johnson was edging out. Corson intercepts. Corson back in. Trying to work to the front. Corson in the corner. Now ragging it on the boards. Trying to kill off time. It comes to Brian McCabe with a shot right on. Rebound! And Tucker couldn't get to it. Tucker plays it back to the net, but this is going to maintain Johnson in goal. Now he's edging out. Pass throw is too far. Yuskevich sends it back. Couple of extra players on the ice there, but no call. There were 8 players on the ice, but no penalty for too many men. Back down into the blue zone. Hill turns. Fans booing. Dimitris shoots it in. Less than a minute to go. The penalty is over, and the net is empty to our left. Back around behind the net for Dimitra. Dimitra trying to save it. Has it again. Pavel Dimitra looking in front of the net. Pavel Dimitra still with it. The pass in front deflected by Hoagland. It won't get out of the lead zone now. Backhanded in. Yuskevich tries to get to it. Nash intercepts. Nash is upended. Back into the corner as Sundin tries to flip it out to Kent. Fights for it in front. Nash is hauled down again. Another shot in front. Loose puck scores! The St. Louis Blues come from a 5-0 deficit to tie the game, and it is Kavanagh with his second of the game to tie it.
The Leafs had a couple of chances to get the puck out of the zone and couldn't do it. Here is the best chance coming up right here. Matt Sundin can't do it. He tries to flip it up the middle. It's intercepted. Watch Kavanagh come off the point right into the deep slot and fires it through a maze of people at Curtis Joseph with 24.4 seconds to go. Kavanagh, his second goal of the night and his third of the season. And the St. Louis Blues look like they've forced this game into overtime. And 24 seconds, and the avalanche that St. Louis has shown the Leafs in the third. And here tells you whether Kavanagh's venture into the slot worked or not.
So Alexander Kavanagh with his second of the game and his third of the season, and it is tied at 5. Bounced out at center ice, Brian McCabe. And this all starts 5 minutes into the third period, so they've scored 5 goals in almost 15 minutes of playing time.
The last one with the goalie out.
Shot down the ice, and there is the horn, and this game is going to overtime. Everybody needs a break, so do we. 5-5 going to OT. We are back here, the third period summary brought to you by Castrol GTX. Drive hard. As Ty Domi built the 5-0 lead, and then the walls started crumbling. Chris Pronger with his fourth. Kavanagh with his second, the first of 2 straight power play goals. McInnes added the second, then Handzus got it within 1, and with the goalie out, it was Kavanagh's second goal of the period, and this game goes to overtime.
Well, here's the fourth St. Louis goal, a lovely little flip pass to Handzus, who backhands it over Joseph, and then with the goalie out, Kavanagh comes off the point and finds the puck right at the hash mark and snaps it by Joseph to tie the hockey game, and we are now in overtime. And the St. Louis Blues are skating down the hill, and the Leafs struggling up the hill at the moment. However, both teams have a point.
It is not exactly. This building is in a state of shock. 5-0 lead with 4 minutes and 51 seconds played before Pronger scored in the third period to end Curtis Joseph's shutout streak against the Blues. Now there's a chance to score! Peck wins it! Jochen St. Louis Blues off the Mortician slab, down 5-0. Win in overtime, 18 seconds into the OT.
The Hearst was at their bench. That's how it looked like at the end of 2 periods. And the St. Louis Blues, with an amazing comeback, score 6 goals in less than 20 minutes to defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-5 after the Leafs, and Hecht all by himself in front of the net puts it in to end the hockey game, and the bonus point goes to the St. Louis Blues, and there is the winner right there.
Johan Hecht scores his 5th of the season, and the bench explodes as well it should. The St. Louis Blues come from behind in dramatic fashion to win this one 6-5. Let's go downstairs to